For a long time now, I've wanted to make a smoke bomb inspired by the suit-up scene from Batman Begins. And now that I have a 3D printer, I think it's doable. So let's get started modeling it in 3D Builder. I started with a sphere that's 50 millimeters in diameter. I created the holes for the nozzles using cylinders, making them just under 10.5 millimeters. I duplicated 4 of them and angled them 60 degrees from each pole to cut out 10 holes in the shell. I hollowed out the center of the shell with a sphere 5 millimeters smaller than the outer shell. Then I beveled the edges of the holes by subtracting cones from them. I then split the shell in half, creating a top and a bottom piece, and then I created the joins inside so the two halves of the shell would clamp together. This was done by making a ring inside the shell, splitting it into 4 pieces, subtracting 2 of them so that there were 2 on each side. Then cutting the 2 pieces at an angle so they would twist together. Next up was to make the nozzles, which are made from a couple more cylinders and a cut-off cone on the top. I beveled the rim of the nozzle so it would fit inside the shell by subtracting a copy of the half shell. Then I hollowed the nozzle out with another cone to give it a spray outlet. I fit the first nozzle into place at the bottom of the shell, cloned it to make the nozzle for the top. Then I cloned those nozzles and fit them into place in the holes in the shells. With that, the model was complete. I finished it off with a paint job just to get the idea of how the finished product would look. And then I import the model into Bambu Studio. I prepared the plate for printing, cloning a few more nozzles in case of a failed print. I set the filament to silk and no supports. Then I sliced the plate, and then it was time to start printing. After the print, there was some cleanup that needed done, like removing supports on the shells, smoothing up the edges, and filing down the roughness on the shells so they could be assembled. Now Batman can assemble his smoke bombs and go start fighting crime.